Hello students, today we will study the next part of organisms and population, and this is the last part. So we will discuss the population interactions. Here we will study the definition of mutualism, competition, in competition, interspecific interference, competitive release, and Gauss principle of competitive exclusion, predation, adaptations in organisms to avoid predation, parasitism, types of parasitism, ecto, endo, and brood parasites, commensalism, and amensalism. So, what is population interaction? That there is no known natural habitat on Earth that is inhabited just by a single species. There are various species living together on the Earth. Such a situation is even inconceivable. For any species, the minimal requirement is one more species on which it can feed. Even in autotrophic organisms, like plant species cannot survive alone. It depends upon the decomposition activities of soil microbes, that is the breaking down of the organic matter in the soil to fulfill their inorganic nutrient requirement. So plants also depend on animal agents for their pollination. In nature, animals, plants, and microbes do not and cannot occur in isolation. They interact in various ways to form a biological community. So what is that population interaction? So living organisms, they interact in various ways to form biological communities. And this type of interaction, where populations of two or more different species interact, they are known as the interspecific interactions. So where the two different species and their population interact, this is the interspecific interaction, and the interaction of the individual of the same species, this is termed as the intraspecific interaction. Now, this interspecific interactions, they are of different types, basically three types. First, the beneficial type of interaction. Beneficial means that is the positive one. Okay, so here the members of or the individuals of the species, they are benefited. The next type of interaction is the negative interaction, that is known as the detrimental, and in which the species, they are harmed. And another that type is the neutral one, neither harmed nor benefited. So let me have a look at these interactions. So population interactions are shown here. You will see here the species A and species B. These are the species, different species shown here, and the type of interaction. So predation is a kind of interaction where one of the species is benefited, another is being harmed. Competition is the kind of interaction where the species are actually they are harmed. None of the species is benefited much more here. Parasitism. In parasitism, one of the species is being benefited, another is being harmed. In commensalism, when we see, then one of the species is benefited, but another neither harmed nor benefited, means no effect. Amensalism, here the one of the species is being harmed, another is unharmed nor benefited. And in mutualism, when we see, then both the species in the mutualism, they are benefited. So let me study all these in detail. So first we'll see here the predation. So what is the predation? It is a kind of interspecific interaction in which the predator, being the strong animal, kills and consumes prey, which is being the weak animal. Therefore, one species is benefited and other is harmed. And predation is a way to transfer the energy from lower trophic levels to the higher trophic levels. Predator keep the prey population under control, otherwise prey reach very high population density and cause imbalance in the ecosystem. Sometimes predators are used as biological control for pests also. For example, the ladybird are useful to control aphids, and dragonflies, they are used to control the mosquitoes. Now, prey species have evolved various defense mechanisms also to reduce the impact of predation. How? Certain insect species of the frogs have camouflage. So, this camouflage is the mechanism by which the prey species they protect themselves from the predators. So, this is the cryptic appearance of an organism similar to the objects found in the surroundings environment to protect itself from predators, and it occurs in some of the species of insects and the frogs. So you can see here, this is the cryptic coloration, means the body, the color of the frog is similar to the surroundings. Another that way is there, that is known as the chemical defense. So in chemical defense, monarch butterfly is very distasteful to its prey bird. Why? Because it has a special chemical in its body, and this chemical is produced during its caterpillar stage by feeding on the poisonous weeds. So the presence of this chemical in its body makes it highly distasteful. Now the next we will see the herbivores. They are the predators for the plants. Herbivores means they are the plant eating animals. So the problem of predation is more severe for plants than animals, as they cannot move. And about 25% of the known insects are phytophagous, means feeding on the plants and feed on the plant sap. Plants also have developed certain morphological and chemical defense mechanism against herbivores. For example, thorns in the bougainvillea, spines in the acacia. You will see here the thorns, and these are the spines in the acacia. So by this, these plants, they are protected from the animals to eat them. Now, Calotropis produces a highly poisonous glycoside that is a cardiac poison. And you'll see this is the Calotropis procera, which produces highly poisonous substance. Nicotine, caffeine, quinine, strychnine, opium, all these are the chemicals produced by the plants against the herbivores. So, these are the mechanisms in the plants to prevent them from eating by the other animals. Now the next kind of interaction we will study, this is the competition. So what is competition? Competition is an interaction among the individuals of the same species. Then it is intraspecific, or between the individuals of the different species, then it is called as the intraspecific. Competition between the individuals of the same species is for same resources that are limited, means less in amount. In some case, resources need not be limiting for competition to occur. The feeding efficiency of one species might be reduced due to the interfering of the other species. For example, you will see here, that is Abingdon tortoise in Galapagos Island became extinct within a decade after goats were introduced into the island. And it was due to the fact that the goats had greater browsing efficiency than the tortoise. Unrelated species also compete for the same resources. For example, flamingo and fish, they compete for zooplankton. Competitive release, a species whose distribution is restricted to a small geographical area because of the presence of a competitively superior species, it is called as competitive release. These species are found to expand their distributional range dramatically when the competing species is experimentally removed. Next, we will see the Gauss competitive exclusion principle. What it says? It states that two closely related species competing for the same resources cannot exist together, and the competitively inferior will be eliminated by the superior one. So in the competition, the superior one will able to eliminate the inferior species. Now, resource partitioning. What is resource partitioning? It is the mechanism meant for coexistence of species to face competition. According to this, if two species compete for the same resource, means their need is same. So if two species compete for the same resource, they could avoid competition by choosing different times for feeding or different foraging patterns. For example, MacArthur showed that 5 closely related species of warblers, they living on the same tree, they were able to coexist and avoid competition by having behavioral differences in their foraging activities, that is the hunting activities. So they are able, though their needs are similar, but they are able to survive on the same tree. Parasitism. Parasitism is the interspecific interaction where one of the species, which is known as the parasite, depends on the other species called as host for food and shelter. Host gets harmed and parasites get benefited. Parasites are host specific, and parasites and its host tend to co-evolve. Means host specific means found in the specific host. Co-evolve means that if the host evolves a special mechanism to reject or resist the parasite, the parasites also has to evolve the mechanisms to neutralize them. Now, parasites adaptation, let me see. Parasites tends to co-evolve. It may loss of sense organs, presence of suckers or hooks, you can see here, like in the Taenia solium, loss of digestive system, high reproductive capacity. These are the parasites adaptations. And some parasites have complex life cycles also, generally have one or more intermediate host. Intermediate host acts as vectors which facilitate parasitization of the host. Human liver fluke has 2 intermediate hosts, a snail and a fish. Also, malaria parasite has 1 intermediate host, mosquito, to spread to the other host. So, this is about the parasitism. Now, the parasites and their types means ectoparasites, endoparasites, and the brood parasitism. So, let me see which are the ectoparasites. So, ectoparasites are like human, that lice and ticks, they are the ectoparasites. So ectoparasites, they feed on the external surface of the host organisms. And in animals, they are human lice and ticks. And copepods are the ectoparasites on some marine fishes. Here we will see the cuscuta is a parasitic plant that grow on the trees or shrubs. It lost its chlorophyll. Which one? This cuscuta, which is being the parasitic plant, it lost its chlorophyll and leaves during the evolution. It gets its nutrition from the host plant by the hostoria. So you can see the cuscuta absorbing the food from the other plant. Now, the brood parasitism. One more, the term is there before we start the mutualism. What is the brood parasitism? It is a kind of parasitism which is found in birds, where parasitic birds, they lay eggs in the nest of the host, means other birds, and lets the host incubate them. For example, cuckoo parasite lays its eggs in the crow's nest, which is being the, so here crow is being the host and cuckoo is being the parasite. And during the course of evolution, the eggs of the parasitic bird have evolved to resemble the host's egg in size and color to reduce the chances of the host bird detecting the foreign eggs and ejecting them from the nest. So this is brood parasitism. Now we'll study the mutualism. So mutualism is a kind of interspecific interaction in which both the species interact and they get benefited. For example, lichens are the relationship between fungus and algae, or the cyanobacteria you have studied in detail in 11th. Mycorrhiza, an association of the fungus with the roots of higher plants. Fungi help to absorb nutrients from the rocks, and plants provide energy yielding carbohydrates to fungi. Plants depend on insects for pollination, and in turn they give them nectar or pollens to eat. Animals also help the plants in seed dispersal, and in return they give fruits to the animals as the food. So these are the some examples of the mutualism where both the species they interact and they are benefited. Next we will see commensalism. What is commensalism? It is also the interspecific interaction in which one species benefits, another is neither harmed nor benefited. For example, epiphytes, that is orchids growing on a tree branch, and baroniacres growing on the back of whales. Here they do not harm the organism on which they grow, like the orchids they grow on the tree branch. So they are not causing any harm but providing benefit. Association between the egret and grazing cattle. Egrets always forage close to the cattle and grazing because they easily get insects. They are the birds actually. The clownfish living along with the sea anemones. So clownfish gets protection from the predators and it does not harm the sea anemones. Suckerfish also on the back of shark. So these are some examples of the commensalism where one species is benefited and other is neither harmed or nor benefited. Now next we'll see here that some other examples like fig tree and pollinator species of wasp. Fig species can be pollinated by its partner wasp only. So here also both are benefited. The wasp also and the fig tree also. Wasp here getting the benefit of the food and the reproduction, and the working as the pollinator for this fig tree. And you'll see that how the insects here help in the pollination. They are getting food from the flowers and in turn they are spreading the pollens to the different plants, and in that way they are helping. Amensalism, it is the interspecific interaction in which one is harmed and other is neither benefited nor harmed. Here like for example, penicillium secretes chemical penicillin which kills the bacteria. So here one is harmed and other is neither benefited and nor harmed. So students, we have completed this portion.